Most people are trying to lower their blood pressure the hard way. I thought I needed restriction too, until fruit changed something that I wasn't watching. What I discovered is that lowering blood pressure is often simpler than most people think. It's not just about what you remove from your diet, it's about what your body is missing. And when the body finally gets what it's missing, regulation starts to happen naturally. In this video, I'm going to walk you through a simple 3-step formula I've used with thousands of people to help them move their blood pressure in the right direction, no matter how long they've been struggling. But before I explain how this works, it's important you see what happens when this approach is applied correctly. Over the first 3 days of following my mineral balancing strategy, Ms. Morris saw her blood pressure drop from 145/95 to 113/78. After completing her first 30 days, her blood pressure remained stable at 113/78. Ms. Kirkwood started at 155/100, and by day 4, her blood pressure was registering 111/79. These aren't isolated cases. They're examples of what happens when the body finally receives the minerals it needs to regulate blood pressure. And you can begin moving in the same direction by applying what I'm about to explain next. One of the most common things I see when people are trying to lower their blood pressure is this. They're making changes, but they don't actually know what's working. They'll tell me I feel better or they think it's going down, but when I ask them what their numbers were before they started, they have no clear answer. Without realizing it, they're guessing. And guessing is dangerous when the goal is to work your way off of prescription medications. Everything starts with measure. You have to know where you are before you understand where you're going. Working your way off of prescription medications requires more than motivation. It requires a plan, and every effective plan starts with the baseline. Before you change your diet, before you add fruit, before anything else, you need to see how your blood pressure behaves right now. Here's how you do that correctly. You're going to measure your blood pressure twice per day, once in the morning and once in the evening. In the morning, the sequence matters. First, use the bathroom. A full bladder can raise blood pressure anywhere from 5 to 15 points due to fluid retention alone. Emptying your bladder before measuring gives you a more accurate reading. Second, take your blood pressure before taking any prescription medications. This is critical. Blood pressure medications are designed to lower the number. If you measure after taking them, you're not seeing how your body is responding. You're seeing the effects of the medication. We want to understand your true baseline before that influence. That baseline is what allows us to evaluate how the rest of the 3M system is impacting your blood pressure over time. Without measurement, there's no clarity, and without clarity, there's no strategy. Step 2, mineral. Once you can see what's happening, the next step is giving the body what it's been missing. Before I explain what to eat, I want to tell you what I see happen all the time. Someone decides that they're going to do better, so they start drinking smoothies. Green smoothies, fruit smoothies, sometimes 2 smoothies a day. On paper, this looks like progress, but a few weeks later, their blood pressure hasn't really changed, or it's inconsistent, and they're frustrated because they feel like they're doing everything right. That's when I have to explain something most people have never been told. It's not just about what nutrients you consume, it's about how your body receives them. That's why step 2 of the 3M system is called mineral. Blood pressure regulation depends heavily on 5 key minerals: potassium, magnesium, calcium, sodium, and zinc. I call these the big 5. One of the most effective ways to deliver these minerals in the form the body recognizes and uses is through whole foods in their raw, natural state. That's why the goal in this step is simple. 3 to 5 servings of fresh fruits per day, and I want to be very clear about what that means. Fresh, raw, whole foods. No smoothies, no canned fruits, no dried fruits. And here's why that matters. When you eat fresh fruits in its whole form, you're getting it exactly how nature packaged it. The fiber, the water, the vitamins, the minerals, and the natural structure that slows digestion and improves absorption. This structure matters. When fruits are blended into a smoothie, the fiber is mechanically breaking down. This changes how quickly sugars are absorbed, how full you feel, and how the body responds metabolically. Smoothies are easy to overconsume, easy to drink too fast, and they often bypass one of the most important parts of eating, which is chewing. Chewing isn't just mechanical. It signals digestion, it supports satiety, and it slows the process so minerals can be absorbed more effectively. When you eat whole fruits, this, you're not just feeding your body, you're training your habits. And when it comes to correcting blood pressure issues, habits matters as much as nutrients. Sustainable blood pressure improvements doesn't come from hacks. It comes from repeatable, intentional actions the body can rely on. Now, when it comes to choosing fruits, here's how I like to think about it. Each fruit supports blood pressure in a slightly different way. Pomegranates are rich in antioxidants that fight off free radicals and support healthy blood vessels dilation, while blueberries help improve blood vessel functions and overall vascular health. Kiwis, both green and golden, are rich in potassium, which helps to soften and relax blood vessels. Cantaloupe is excellent for hydration, which improves blood viscosity, thinning the blood slightly and supporting better blood flow. And avocados, yes, which are technically a fruit, are rich in potassium, magnesium, and healthy fats, all of which play an important role in blood pressure regulation. These are some of my top choices right now, but when it comes to selecting fruits, the most important principle is variety. No single fruit fixes blood pressure on its own. It's the combination that matters. The more variety you bring into the mix, the wider the range of vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, and plant compounds your body receives. And that variety is what helps the body regulate blood pressure more efficiently over time. That's why fresh fruits, simple, whole, and consistent, plays such a powerful role in step 2 of the 3M system. Step 3 is all about momentum. This is where most people either move forward or fall back into old patterns. High blood pressure doesn't show up overnight. It develops slowly through repeated habits that no longer support the body. And the good news is this: the same process works in reverse. When you start installing small health-promoting habits and repeat them consistently, the body begins to respond. And that's what momentum is. Momentum isn't about willpower. It's about making healthy choices the easy choice. One of the simplest ways to do that is by creating visual and environmental cues that trigger better decisions. For example, at home, keep fresh fruits visible on the counter. When it's easy to see, it's easier to eat. In the morning, choose fresh fruits for breakfast instead of stopping for fast food. At work, pack a bag with a variety of fresh fruits so you're prepared when that midday urge hits. These might seem like small changes, but small changes repeated daily create powerful momentum. And once your daily habits begin to align with health-promoting practices, blood pressure often starts to respond naturally. Not because you forced it, but because the body finally has consistency it can trust. That's how momentum works. And when momentum is in place, working your way off of prescription medication becomes a process, not a struggle. If you want to accelerate your results, I've linked my 7-day blood pressure reset program in the description below, and I recommend watching the next video here. It goes deeper into what else you can do to get to the root cause of your blood pressure issues.